Okay, we are heading out, going to Beast Games. I'm super excited. And yeah, I can't wait to see y'all or y'all to see me. Bye. You guys gonna miss me?
Yes.
Go around. Ooh. Let me get my notes out. When I tell y'all, it was probably one of my greatest experiences as far as the outcome of the show. Dang, where do I start? Okay, so let me start by saying I had got into acting over the summer. And with that, you know, you apply on these websites and you answer casting calls, whether they're on social media or on a specific website. And I just was like, what's Beast Games? It's new. I knew who Mr. Beast was, but the Beast Games idea, I was like, oh, this is kind of new. What's this? It's a game show. You can win $5 million. Sign me up. And so I wasn't really sure of what I could expect in the show. I did know, however, that it was going to be reality TV. And I was a little nervous about that, just a little bit. And so with that, I was like, okay, let me go try to win some money because I want to win some money. I don't know how. I know I've seen his other shows and I'm like, he gives away stuff in between, like cars, money, special prizes to see if you have to be away for a long time, you can see your family and things like that. And I was just really like, I'm gonna go do it. The initial thought was my husband and I are gonna do it together. And I started thinking like, well, who's gonna take care of our children? Right. So let me just make sure like I sign up. Let me see how the process goes. And my husband actually made it through to where they wanted to do like a, was it a callback with him or something like that? Or they sent him out. No, actually they sent him another link to apply and he never applied. Cause after we talked, it was like, we don't know how long we're gonna be gone. And we don't want to put that much responsibility on somebody else for like over a week. Like it was a lot. And so, I got through. I got through the application process because I applied through casting networks. Into the application, they gave me a call and verified I had all these documents. Said you'll go through background checks, medical checks, and got the call from Beast Team. They were like, okay, well, you are more details to come soon. They booked our flights and everything. They booked our hotels we stayed at. We showed up in Vegas. I think there was another like political conference going on like in the next hotel. So it was very busy, a lot of stuff going on. And the check-in process was very long, very tedious. We just landed. We were at the hotel, you guys. Look at the crowd. It's crazy. Right now they have us in line. We're about to eat, you guys. I'm starving. I've been so nervous I couldn't eat. I was just super excited to just be a part of that. Like I was just super excited to just be and see all these people. And I'm glad I wasn't the only content creator there or the only because I do create content in my spare time. I'm glad I wasn't the only person that was an actress there because I was doing this, but I didn't want to be a part of a show and people be like, oh, that's fake because she's an actress. Like, no. I'm new at this, first of all, and nothing on the show was fake. Everything on the show was unscripted, right? And so everybody played themselves. So it was just one of those things that I was happy to be a part of. Back to the check-in process. It took a couple hours to check in. They go through all your baggage. They sent you a list of what to bring as far as hygiene stuff, like what you can bring once you get on set, all these other things. So initially when we were in Vegas, we couldn't be outside of our rooms. And so I think I arrived, I think it was like a 3 or 4 day stay for some folks. Other people had stayed like a day because everybody was like trickling in from traveling. But the rules kind of changed day by day as they saw the production team saw that stuff wasn't working out. So they were like, okay, we're going to say you can keep your room keys and you can leave your room, you can get food, but don't leave the hotel. Because they had to be responsible for those 2,000 people. Mind you, like trying to get 2,000 people to follow directions. You know, people be peopling. So it was already chaos. And yeah. But anyway, I got my room key, got up to my room, and we couldn't leave. We can go get food and come back. But I was just, you know, like calling my mom and calling my husband and like saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen next, but if you don't hear from me, just know that the games have started. I don't have my phone. They told us to pack our phones away in our bags, and they would take our bags to a secure location. So the day comes where we have to go to the stadium. And so we ride these buses over to the stadium. We're already in our jerseys. We did have to wear a trash bag because, you know, it was supposed to be kept secret. Or maybe it was a tactic to, you know, get people out of the games. Will they wear a trash bag for $5 million? Will they risk embarrassment? I don't know. But I know that it needed to be kept secret. But people were already recording us, standing in line and filming us already on their phones. And so that was very interesting to see. I stayed there for a couple days in Vegas. We get to the stadium and I'm thinking, oh, we're going to film at the stadium and go back to our hotel. No. It was not that. We stayed on that stadium. Look at me. The curls are fresh. Not too much. They'll get bigger. Don't you worry. Anyway, we get to the stadium and it's like me thinking, okay, we're going through security, which I love they had security. It was a good thing they had security because in any big event, you want that security to be there. It was good. I did appreciate that. I felt a little safe, you know, with the security checks. But we were sitting around for a long time, like in outside of the field. So we were in the stadium, but not on the field yet. We waited around for hours because it takes a lot to put on a big production. You know what I mean? Like not just the people, but the challenges and the staff and just a whole bunch of other things that I probably didn't even see or know that goes on. So it took a couple hours, but finally we get down and they did ask us on the application, I remember vividly, are you allergic to olives or something like that? And I was like, that's a weird question. Well, quickly found out that we were, once we got onto the field, I was like, what is this? This is not turf. I was picking it up. They were olive pits. And I was like, why are we, it felt like gravel. And then we completed a challenge or two and everything was still kind of unclear. I was like, they're going to put us back in a hotel. That's going to happen. Baby, they started passing out sleeping bags. And I was like, huh? Oh, I was like, girl, no. We had to sleep on the stadium floor. This got to be part of the challenge. And let me say that they told us, you can leave anytime you want. You can leave. There's the door. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out. Nobody was being forced to stay there. Let me just say that. It was interesting to see the personal, I have this pen because I'll be writing notes. But it was interesting to see how people are and their determination and the personal triumphs or obstacles that were in their way, even though you could just leave, right? You can leave. You could have left at any point. Nobody was keeping you there. So anyway, we're sleeping on the gravel, and let me tell you, it was a lot. It was a lot because I do not like to sleep with a bunch of clothes on. And we was inside of a hot sleeping bag, and I was like, it's not gonna be good. So I had to get kind of undressed in my bag a little bit. I didn't take off all my clothes, but like I would have to take off my jersey that I had on. It wasn't this one, but it would look like this one. And I was just like, so it's gonna be so hot. So I just took my jersey off, kept my sports bra on, and kind of slept that way, but then made sure I got dressed inside of my sleeping bag because I like to be modest. Like I don't want to be like staring out myself to the world. And it was cameras everywhere. So I was like, But something I did love is that like they did interviews with almost everybody on the field. And I thought that was real like sentimental. Like they were taking in people's stories and their experiences. Yes, for the show. But I felt like how they did it was very like intimate. And they would come to you and be like, hey, do you want to be recorded? Or do you want to answer any questions? And you have the option to be like, no, thank you. Even though there are a lot of cameras around, like as far as a one-on-one interaction, you had the opportunity to be like, no, it's okay. But I was totally comfortable with that. We get through all the challenges, and what's going through my mind is like, there's no way we're sleeping on this floor each night after them challenges. Or actually, we were sleeping during the day, and we were doing challenges at night. So we were sleeping on the floor, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how much more does this have to take? Yeah, it was an experience that was unforgettable, but I will say I will reiterate this. No one was forcing anybody to stay. They had the opportunity to leave and go out the door, but that means you risk losing the $5 million. They had the opportunity to walk away from the games, and they chose to stay. I want to talk about the challenge where I was eliminated. Yes, eliminated. This is like very hard for me to talk about because this is one of those moments where like it was a moment of like integrity / listen to your gut, your intuition, your ancestors, girl. So on the capture the flag, there were some groups and teams that were actually working together, which I loved. And so I had called out a flag and I was like, this is my number. But anyway, it was one of those where it was like, I got it, I can go for it. Everybody was like, cool, you got it. And everybody had chosen their flag that was gonna go. So remember, them olive pits, and I had on shoes. You have to wear shoes with no label, no brand. And they have shoes like that, but I just didn't order them in time. And so I got some $10 black shoes that I had, no grip, terrible for my feet, uncomfortable. And I take off running and I slip. All I heard was grip, the freaking olive pits they took me down, baby. And them shoes, no. But I didn't fall all the way. I just kept running through it. And I'm sprinting. And I feel the breath of this human being coming. I was like, who is this? Because I already agreed that, we agreed. We had a bond. And so I think this girl that was going, she was pretending to be a part of our team, or maybe she was, but she thought when I slipped, she had the opportunity to take it. Which, hey, every man for themselves. I get you, girl. No hard feelings. But so I grabbed the flag, she grabbed the flag, and I was like, oh, heck no, let it go. I think I had kept my cool the whole time in the game. I was hyped at some points, cheering on my team, or happy that I had gotten a jersey when we had to run and pick a color of jersey in Vegas. I was on a pink team, by the way. But yes, in that moment, I was like, oh no, I know. And I was just so mad, her integrity was not intact. You heard me call for this flag. Had you not been on my heels to run, I would have been, we would have both been good. We would have both ate. You know what I mean? So she grabbed the flag and I was like, let it go. And she let it go and she went to go try to find another flag. The rules were if you leave possession of your flag, that's no longer your flag. And so she couldn't find another flag, which means she was eliminated. So she tries to come back and grab my flag. I said, let it go. And she let it go because I was like, no, you let it go. And so one of the team members or the production team members came over, and he's such a nice man. He's so great. He's awesome. And I don't know if I can say his name here, so I won't. But he was so great and awesome. My adrenaline was high, and he was like, hey, there's been a discrepancy, or whatever the term they used at the time. And they were reviewing footage, and they were saying you can challenge someone, do a rock, paper, scissors battle. It was a cool little battle. I like that because I like rock, paper, scissors, I can get down with some rock, paper, scissors. And so I was kind of really my tone was a little frustrated with him, but I wasn't frustrated with him. I was just upset with the girl. Or frustrated at the situation, really, not upset at nobody, but just frustrated with the situation. My adrenaline was up, and I was just like, oh, no, I'm not. He was like, okay. I was like, he right. I said, let's just talk. He's like, we'll review the footage or whatever. I was like, you're going to review the footage? Why can't we play rock, paper, scissors? And he was like, we'll review the footage or whatever. And I don't think they had time to, because there was a lot of things they were running out of time to do. But they never showed me the footage. I don't know if they showed her the footage, but I knew that she was going to go cry and be like, that was my flag. I touched it first. But I called it first. I think they even got that on camera, but they didn't show it. So I was just in the pit of my stomach, I was like, they're going to try to take my flag. I just know it. So we go eat after that. And this meal was better than the last few meals, which they were all great. We were all fed, but I just knew it. I was like, they're gonna do something. She was down there still crying, on the field, it's mine. I'm not just a big crier unless I'm mad about something. Even then I don't be like, oh, a tear will roll down. But she was crying big time, and I was just and making a big fuss about it. I was like, all right. So I had I think I volunteered for something, and then you know, one of the same person that was stopping me on the field had stopped me. I was like, is there a way you guys can go review the footage or something? Like, why didn't we play rock, paper, scissors? Like, I was genuinely like, what's going on? And I just in that moment was like, I had been more calm. I'd eaten finally, and I was not, my adrenaline had come down. Like, I was cool. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. Here's a flag. And he was like shocked that I was not arguing with him, I guess. Cause there was a lot of people, it was a lot of chaos going on. People was arguing, like it got heated. Competitive, when you get competitive, it gets heated. So he said, I'm gonna have to take your flag. And I was like, that's fine. Here you go. And he was shocked about that. And he was like, I really love your attitude about this. And yeah, I said, I apologize for like earlier too, or whatever. I think I said I apologize for earlier, or I said, yeah, it's not a big deal or whatever. It's cool. Like, there's not much I can do. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. It just didn't seem right. And something my intuition was like, just let it go. My ancestors were like, let it go, my child. So I was like, let me let it go. And I let it go. And he was like, well, let me get your information. I really like how you handled this. We may want to bring you back for, you know, future projects. And in my heart, I was like, see, sometimes it's good to have a little self-control and not just be barking at everybody that come through, like in every situation. And I've learned that along the way. And it's like I said, this entire thing has been a great learning experience for me. And so with that, they took me backstage or whatever, where I saw all my other friends that had gotten eliminated, and then they kind of bust them up. And then they kept, I want to say about 5, 6, 7 of us back as alternates. And which that means you could have got back in the game for the last challenge. You could be going to Canada. This is still in Vegas at the time. So they kept us until the last challenge was over. And then to see the aftermath of like people being upset, like tensions were high. That's why you probably see so many tears on the show. Like it was a lot going on. But then they said, okay, finally you guys are being released. You can go back to your hotel. We'll email you your flight confirmation. They gave us per diem for food and stuff. And it was just, I got to explore Vegas a little bit, go out a little bit. But it was such a fun time. And I learned so much. I made friends. And I'm happy that I was given hope even after like an unfortunate situation that happened in Vegas. And so I get a call like a week or 2 later saying, hey, we want you to come to Canada and we'll assign you a number. There are people that just couldn't make it to Canada. And so I was very fortunate, very grateful. And they could have been checking with everybody. I don't know. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, I appreciate people who can respect that I'm a person, I'm growing, and don't hold it against me when I do something like that's, you know, frustrating or whatever. So I did appreciate them. They had a lot going on in the production team. And so, yeah, I found out I was going to Canada and I was hype. So I don't know if I'm gonna make Canada part 2. Yeah.
Okay, so finally I'm leaving Vegas today. I heard there was a 2-hour wait for TSA line, which is crazy with all the flight stuff happening. I was like, dang, the one time I'm traveling during a world issue. But anyway, or a cyber issue. I feel like everything that could happen here did at this time. But I'm so happy to be leaving. I'm ready to go back home, see my babies and my husband. And yeah, I made a lot of good connections though. Just making those type of connections, being all in the same room with those people just made me feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. Even with all the challenges that were going on and the issues that were had during the games, after the games, flights being delayed, no flights being available, no hotel rooms being available and all that. So yeah, I'm super happy to have been a part of this experience. I can't say that I've been in nothing like this in my life. It was an experience for sure. I mean, what would you do for $5 million? You know what I mean? I definitely would invest that money and make it grow for me, and donate it, of course. But yeah, that's it. And we did some pretty crazy stuff that I think it's valid to do things, because people always ask, would you do this for this amount of money? Yes, within reason for me, but it got crazy in there. And some people's integrity was tested, and honesty, authenticity was tested. Everything was tested, and it's just been this whirlwind of ups and downs. Even outside of the games, I feel like I ran into so many crazy things because it's Vegas. But yeah, I'm happy I was here, but I'm also very, very happy to go home. I miss my babies and I miss my man. Well, y'all, Vegas has been real. Beast Games 2024. I finally made it home. I'm so tired. Beast Games wrapped for the first part, the YouTube part, and Las Vegas is in my rear view. I'm back in Texas.